Good morning. This is April the 22nd, Monday 2024, and we are in BBA second semester section A class where we are going to talk about the elements of a story. Yesterday some of you made a presentation. So what is plot? Somebody tell me from your screen, what is plot? What is plot? What is given there in your notebook? Okay. Okay, plot is arrangement of events. Arrangement of events to develop basic idea. Okay. Okay. What is the title of the first section? What is the title of the first section of this? First chapter of the novel. First novel. First one. Dawn. Right? So, what idea do you think the first lesson is trying to convey? The rise and development of dash dash dash. So the writer is trying to convey the idea of rise and development of something. Right? What is that something? A company. A company, right? Okay, see the note. So plot is a sequence of events, right? Sequence of events. Okay. Now, what are the elements? First is, what is the first? What is the first element? Exposition. What is exposition? Someone tell me. Beginning of the story, characters, background and setting. Okay, how does the story begin? Dawn, narrator sets out for morning walk. The narrator sets out for morning walk. Okay. What characters you come across in the beginning? The narrator and the teacher and father and mother and twin sisters and grandfather and grandmother. These people are mentioned early. Right? Okay. What background do you see? He has come home after 7 years. Right? Where had he been for 7 years? Where had he gone for 7 years? Someone tell me. He has come home. He says, I am home after 7 years. It's strange. So where was he for 7 years? Japan? Tell me, who have read. Where was he for 7 years? Anuj, where was he for 7 years? No idea. Where was he for 7 years? World tour? Okay. 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 And setting revealed. So here you talk about time, place, atmosphere. Time, certain foggy morning in 1962, September. Place, Portland, Oregon, USA. Atmosphere, outside, calm, cool, serene. Inside his mind, a lot of thinking. अब यसरी पढाएर किन हुँदैन भन्दा मैले पढाइरहेको छु नि, तपाईँ गफेर बस्नुहुन्छ, किनभने मैले भनिरहेको छु नि त, तपाईँले के गर्नु परेन नि त, हैन? अनि यो तपाईँ टिप्नुहुन्न, फाल्नुहुन्छ लगेर मतलब पनि हुँदैन, तपाईँलाई सरकार पनि हुँदैन। तर यही काम तपाईँले तयारी गरेर आएको भए के हुन्थ्यो, तपाईँले पढ्नुहुन्थ्यो नि त। This is not the right way of teaching you. So what's happening? As I'm explaining on the whiteboard, you are busy talking among yourselves, right? And you are noting down. This is spoon feeding. From my jug, I'm pouring into your mug. There is no learning. It is copying. Such teaching is transfer of information. I am transferring information from my mind on the whiteboard, and you are copying down. From teacher's mind to the whiteboard, from the whiteboard note copy. And you will not learn, or you won't learn. You will just throw it out. What you should do? You should prepare such things at home. As I ask you, come to class with your notes and make a presentation. Okay. Sitting. Now what is next? Okay. So we talked about, all this was about exposition, right? What is the second element? Rising action. Let's write here. Number 2. See, stories, let's use a visual. Can I erase this side? Can I erase? Most of the stories, they open in a normal way. When the story opens, everything is right. Everything is perfect. Nobody has any problem. For example, in this story, if you see para 1, you see a young man, 24 years old. He gets up much early, before birds get up, before people get up, puts on his running shoe, and without disturbing anybody, leaves his home from the back door and comes on the street for morning walk. A very normal activity. We all do this. There is no problem, right? So, a story opens with normalcy. Now, this normalcy, this normal situation is broken by something. Somebody does something. Somebody says something. For example, if you have the page, first page, let me show you where this normalcy is broken. For example, if you see paragraph number 2, last sentence, where he puts a question. Let me draw upward line and write here, asks a question to himself. What is that question? Why is it always hard to get started? Let's draw a line. Why is it always hard to get started? So what do you see here? At this juncture, this is the point where the plot turns. And I could have drawn a line down, but I drew a line upward to show that this is a rising action. What is rising action? Can we say falling action? We can. Falling action is when things cool down, calm down, settle down, and things become normal. That's falling action. What is rising action? Rising action is when tension starts building. What is rising action? When tension starts building. How do you know if tension is building here? You know this by looking at the question. He is walking alone and he reflects with a question. Why is it always so hard to get started? And this question makes him think, makes him reflect. So in one sense, it is a real question he is asking. And this question has two meanings. One literal meaning, other metaphorical meaning. Literally, He means it's difficult to wake up in the morning. Last night, I went to bed at 12:30. And I got up at 3. Because my father is sick, so I went down to check him. So I slept only for 2.5 hours tonight. It was not difficult for me to wake up because I'm habituated. But the boy at my home, my foster child, when I left home, he's still sleeping. And I know he will not wake up before 10. He is 21. Your age. So for him, waking up early is difficult. One meaning. Another meaning, why is it always hard to get started? The phrase get started might imply beginning of a business, beginning of a venture, beginning of a plan, beginning of an industry, beginning of life's journey. Get started means the beginning of anything. The beginning of anything is difficult. We began in our mother's womb, where it took us 9 months to grow. And when we were being born, our mom's life was at risk. Because she had to deliver us, risking her life. Right? So beginning is hard. Whether it is human beginning. I don't know if you recall the first day your parents took to school. You might have cried a lot. You might have said, I won't go to school. The first week, you might have felt homesick. Only yesterday, my friend landed in USA, and it took him 5 days to reach there. 5 days. Lot of transit. And he writes yesterday, IU America, with 3 photographs. And somebody comments, Pandin la Santa, Garavawala. It's always hard to start. Right? That's one meaning. And the second meaning is more important here. Because this is a story that tells us the beginning of a world famous shoe company, the Nike shoe company. So this is the point where the action rises. Now, when you say rising action, keep in mind, when you say rising action, there are 2 types of actions in a story. One is material action, another is mental action. Material actions take place in the outside world. I walk down the aisle and grab the bottle and take it here. This is material action. This is material action. And as I grabbed, the hair clip fell and this girl got startled. What happened? What is he doing? Why is he doing? So there was mental action also. She was startled. You know startled? Just know. That's mental action. So mental action is, there are 2 things. Material action is verbs which you do things, right? Mental action is thinking, reflecting. You think and reflect. Right? Okay. Read here in your note. What's given there? Events in the story become complicated. The conflict is revealed. These are events between the introduction and climax. Okay. Now, let's draw one more circle here and write the conflict. Now, we need to switch off the fan. How do you see the conflict? What is conflict? Conflict is to have conflict, there must be two parties. Sometimes, have you seen, your mom has brought a proposal for your marriage. As you arrive home, they reveal a proposal. You shout at them, get angry, and slam the door behind them. Lock yourself. And then you call your friend and you tell to her, Subhasri. And Subhasri gives her advice. You call more friends. Right? You share. And they give advice. Then you sit on a study table and look outside the window at the distance. See birds flying freely. See clouds floating freely. And you imagine, now I won't be free like the birds. And then you say, should I marry or should I not marry? Should I marry and not marry? This is called conflict with the self. Conflict with the self. Because your one mind says, let's get married, life is romantic, enjoy. The other marriage says, there is pregnancy also, it is only romance. Oh no, God. And you move between 2 points, right? That is conflict. Another, self versus other. For example, there is a character Mingma. He is Sherpa. He fell in love with a Newar girl. They decided to marry. Parents said no. Mingma left parents, chose to marry the girl. They ran away from home. They rented a room. They began to live in the room. Mingma worked as a plumber, painter, brought money. Then they had a child, daughter, their first daughter. One day, Mingma comes home and the child in the neighboring room says, uncle, auntie malai mobile rahne dinu bheko cha. Mingma becomes jasanga. Kasta mobile babu? The 10-year child shows your mobile auntie ko, a big mobile. Mingma had never seen that mobile. Mingma's wife has gone to beauty parlor. Now the child gives the mobile. Mingma opens mobile. There is WhatsApp program installed. And Mingma finds that there are a lot of video calls, lot of photographs. And Mingma comes to learn that his wife has a boyfriend. In 1 hour, Mingma's wife comes back from the beauty parlor. And Mingma shows her the mobile phone and says, "Yo, koska mobile ho?" his wife is speechless because she never realized that the mobile she gave the next room child to hide, he will give it back to him. Now, Mingma scolds her, slaps her. She responds with her slap. They have a fist fight in the room. They fight for a while. People in the neighboring room, they peep into. They don't want to disturb husband and wife's quarrel. Then Mingma goes through whole history and he finds that his wife has the habit of contacting boys and visiting them during daytime when he goes for work. Mingma is frustrated. He cries and cries. He makes a call to his mother-in-law. In about 1 hour, mother-in-law comes. And Mingma says, Hazurko chori laijanus. Mother-in-law says, के भयो जोइ साहब? Mingma says, हेर्नुस् हजुरको छोरीले के गरिरहेछन्? Mother takes Mingma's wife back home. Next day, Mingma and his 1-year-old daughter, they are living. His घरबेटी comes down, knocks the door, says, भाइ भाडा नदिएको 3 महिना भयो नि. Mingma says, sir, जागिर सारी केही पाइन, गाह्रो भयो मलाई. घरबेटी says, यसरी कहाँ हुन्छ? घरबेटी starts giving pressure for money. Mingma has no option. 2 days later, Mingma is walking up the stairs. घरबेटी says, भाइ के भइरहेछ? घरबेटी sees Mingma's arm. There are lots of cut marks on his arm. From here to here, all bleeding. I instantly created a story for you. Extempore story. Now what is in this story? In this story, you see conflict between self and other. This self is Mingma and the other is his wife. Last week, the Dubai people for the first time experienced heavy rain. So what was there? There the conflict was person versus nature. Person versus nature. This morning, or sometimes I have problem with traffic police. So they say, sir, हजुर यो लाइसेन्स निकाल्नुस् हिजो मात्रै. Okay, here is my license. They check and say, sir, हजुरले त कर तिर्नु आइरहन्छ, डेट गएछ. Then I say, के भयो त म फाइन तिरिहाल्छु, तपाईले किन तनाव भयो? They say, होइन, यो त हजुरले यसको नि फाइन तिर्नु पर्छ, कर तिर्नुस्. Then I say, okay, मैले यो चाहिँ राज्यलाई 3 वर्ष अगाडि लाइसेन्स बनाउन तिरेको पैसा फाइन तिरेको पनि छ यहाँ. 3 वर्ष भयो. मेरो लाइसेन्स खै? Then the police becomes speechless. Then I say, मैले ढिला गर्दा फाइन तिर्नु पर्ने, राज्यले ढिला गर्दा फाइन तिर्नु नपर्ने. And we have a quarrel. What conflict is this? This is person versus state. Now, yesterday in the other class, a student came to present, could not present the proper way. I got angry. She said, I'm sick. I said, if you are sick, don't present, take rest. For a few seconds, there was a tension. What is conflict? Teacher versus student. So do you see, to have a conflict, you must have a binary. What is binary? Two things which are opposed at one another. Two things which are opposed at one another. Two things which are opposed with one another. That's conflict, okay? Now, let's ask a question. Where does the conflict start in this story? Action rises here. So where does the okay? Now what kind of conflict is there? Where is it? For example, if you check the pages, look here. At one point, he says, why do I look like a child? And he says, I look like a child because I haven't experienced the world. Right? अब यसरी पढाएर हुँदैन, मलाई डिजेक्सन भइसक्यो। किन तपाईको त्यो के भयो भने अब यो मैले भन्ने तपाई नसुन्ने अनि तपाईको शरीर चाहिँ कक्षामा हुने, दिमाग चाहिँ लन्डन, मस्को, अस्ट्रेलिया हुने। किन तपाई इंगेज हुनु भएन नि त। You are not actively engaged in my class. So I am explaining you are listening. And even there is no guarantee that you are listening actively. Right? Sorry, I don't know why I am getting called again and again today. The same dish home, oh God. What the hell are they doing? I bought their dish 8 years before and never recharged. So they keep calling me. Why I didn't recharge? Because they show advertisement in the channel. So I didn't recharge. Okay, leave that. Now if you move ahead, somewhere he talks about physical awakening. Let me write here. He says that first physical awakening, brilliant moment, and then he says, my material body melted solid to liquid. Then there is another awakening. There are two types of awakenings in life. One awakening, the physical, begins your day. Another awakening begins your life. That morning he physically awoke. He began his day. But he talks about a second awakening. What is that second awakening? If you go down the same page, he says, like my friends, I wanted to be successful. What is that awakening? He says that he wanted. What class do you have now? He wanted to be successful. What class do you have now? Okay. Then if you turn the next page, he says, I was searching for something. What was he searching for? He was searching for meaningful life. What does he mean by that? If you go down, he says that I was searching for purposeful life. He says that I wanted to leave a mark on the world. Look, at 24, he had completed his master's MBA. He had done at 24. And he says he still felt like a kid. He wanted to leave a mark on the world. So what conflict do you see? You see the conflict between the protagonist versus the society, the hero and the world. के को हाँसो हो थाहा पाउँ त म बुझिरहेको छु न हाँसो लागिरहेको छ जोक भने जस्तो. The conflict between the hero and the world. He says, I want the world to remember me when I die. And he did that by opening a company. So I'm leaving the class at a point where I show the beginning of the conflict. Still, you have to go down and find out the line where he talks about, for example, can someone tell me which page, which line, for the first time he talks about the crazy idea? Which page, where for the first time? Now look, in my coming class, Koilio class, if you came without a printed hard copy of the book, if you came to my class next time without a printed hard copy of the book, I will simply kick you out of my class. I repeat, I use the word kick. K-I-C-K, kick. Sorry for this rude response. I'll kick you out of my class. I have repeatedly reminded you to bring your books, okay? I leave this class with this harsh warning because you gave me no option. What could I do, right? You don't listen to your teachers, do you? No. I want to take a snap of this what I say because you don't care about what I wrote on the board.